Hello everyone, I hope and pray that you're doing well. I recently read through a memorial service for a relative who was part of a 12-step recovery group, a fellowship, and it made me think a little bit about acceptance. Thinking about these lines from the Serenity Prayer, which you can probably see over my shoulder here, attributed to Dr. Reinhold Niebuhr. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And I will say this, that as a pastor, my experience has been that acceptance is crucial to a healthy and thriving spirit. I'm not only accepting people and circumstances, but beginning foundationally and starting with being accepted ourselves by God and knowing that we are accepted. God is warm and gracious and compassionate, and knowing and feeling and experiencing the God who accepts and loves me sets me free to love and accept others. Now, I don't know what your journey's been like exactly. It may or may not include an understanding of Jesus as an example of acceptance. But if Jesus really is who the scriptures say he was, then he is incredibly accepting. Now, accepting isn't just rolling over and playing dead. Acceptance isn't, waffling on the truth. Acceptance is receiving God's unconditional love and then mirroring that unconditional love by loving our neighbors as we love ourselves. I mean, just think of the cast of characters Jesus loves in the Gospels. And think about the posture of Jesus' acceptance in Matthew 11 when he says, "Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. I won't let anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly." Now, accepting others and accepting all sorts of circumstances is much easier if you have experienced acceptance yourself. Now we might know people who understand God to be stern, even vindictive, kind of a policeman God, right? Who has, from their perspective, even rejected them. Who then themselves end up rejecting so many others because of their picture of God. Now, I don't know where you're at today. Maybe you're struggling to believe that God accepts you amidst all the sin and brokenness in your life. Or maybe you're struggling to accept yourself or to accept others in your family or around you. And I want us to kind of return to Jesus' baptism. And this line that what happens to Jesus at his baptism also happens to us in and through ours. And so Matthew 3 records this. As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water, and at that moment heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending upon him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven and said, "This is my Son, whom I love, my beloved, with whom I'm well pleased." And so let me close with these words of acceptance from Henry Nouwen, who writes, "Every time you feel hurt, offended, or rejected, you have to dare to say to yourself, these feelings, strong as they may be, are not telling me the truth, the whole truth about myself. The truth, even though I cannot feel it right now, is that I am the chosen child of God, precious in God's eyes, called the beloved from all eternity, and held safe in an everlasting embrace." The peace of Christ be with you all.